hand I see. List all you can. Go ahead. Click it again. Okay, don't touch the House, though. Characteristics to hold office in House and Senate. Go ahead. You've got it first. You've got it second. Go.
What characteristic for the
Characteristics.
citizen
5.
of America?
What's that?
The person should be citizen of America.
Okay, I need more specifics than that, though. 5. Anybody in the group can answer. 4.
They need to be.
3.
You can say.
2.
They need to be 30 years of.
Who needs to be 30?
25.
Who needs to be 30?
The House needs to be 25.
House
the
needs to
Senate
be 25. That's 1.
The Senate needs to be 30.
Senate needs to be 30. Keep going. 5. 4.
House says 2 years of experience.
The House has 2 years of experience?
Yeah.
-1. Go, group.
2 years to hold office for the House.
What do you mean 2 years to hold office? 5.
2
4.
years and then they
2-year
re-elect.
2-year terms. 2-year terms. Go.
6-year terms for the Senate.
6-year term for the Senate. Go.
Residency of 9 years
For
for the Senate.
9-year residency for the Senate. Go.
They don't have to
7-year
be U.S.
residency
citizen.
for the
They
House.
don't-
7 years residency for the
They
House.
don't have to be U.S. born.
They don't have to be U.S. born. Anything else you want to tell me? 5.
There's 100 in the Senate. There are 435 in the House.
100 senators, 435 House members. Anything else you want to tell me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, touch the House. Pick me a category since you got the last correct answer. Fatima, if you could close the door, I'm going to get really upset with people down the hall. I have to.
Executive 5 points.
Executive for 5. Thank you. List all you can. Click it. Youngstown versus Sawyer. You have it first. First hand I see, got it next. You've got it next. Go.
Characteristics?
I need you to tell me the story.
Oh, okay.
5.
Youngstown versus Sawyer was during the Korean War.
Korean War. Go.
The Youngstown Steel Mill went on strike,
Youngstown Steel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, went on strike during the Korean War.
and the government was taking over their factory.
The government took over or seized the factory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Using
go.
the power as commander-in-chief, right?
President Truman used his commander-in-chief power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to seize the steel mills. Okay, keep going. Tell me. 5,
That was later ruled unconstitutional.
4. Yeah, why? 3.
Because
of
it
seizing-
only applies overseas and with foreign affairs.
That's actually a good point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It only
The
regards the
Youngstown versus
military.
Sawyer case was actually dealing with the commander-in-chief power. And ultimately, they did rule that the commander-in-chief power could only be used outside of the borders of the country. But we got a lot of stuff in between that and where you left off. So give me the next relevant point. 5.
It can be used on citizens. It cannot be used on citizens with.
Go back to the steel mill, though.
Okay, I think I've heard this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, tell me what you got. We left off with the court, or they decided to seize the steel mill to force them to go back to work.
Yeah, it was ruled that the president doesn't have the right to seize property
Why?
because it was he didn't own the steel mill and it was a
Invasion of property.
invasion.
Okay, there is a property issue, but there's more to this. Tell me more. 5, 4, 3,
They were taking away the rights of the citizens.
2. Yeah, I've heard this. 1. Go ahead, group. Actually, that's -5. Go ahead. Christopher, I saw your hand, so you guys are in this.
There was no provision in the Constitution.
There was no provision in the Constitution. This doesn't sound good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. -5.
Can we go back?
Can we go back?
All right, question. First hand I see. What were the 3 tests that the Supreme Court used in this? What were the 3 tests? We went over this yesterday that the Supreme Court used. Go ahead.
It was the Congress thing, right? If Congress voted for it with the president has max power and it would be okay.
If President and Congress agree, presidential authority is at its highest level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If they say nothing, then Congress says that he's at okay power, but not. It depends on.
1,
what
2,
they
3,
say.
4, 5. If Congress is silent, but the president still has Article 2 powers, if it's in the first case, the president's going to win. If it's in the second case, odds are the president's going to win if Congress is silent because it's still Article 2 powers. What was the third test?
If they don't agree, then the Congress, then they can't do it because Congress disagrees.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And what category did they put this in?
Oh God.
First hand I see.
What category?
What category did they put it in? What test did they use?
Oh.
Go ahead, Corzon.
Second test.
-5.
Do you know? Okay, Joe.
Go ahead.
It's the third test.
The third test, why?
Because Congress voted down an amendment to give the president.
Remember what the bill was?
It was.
Anybody in the group?
It was for the president to have the power to.
Anybody remember what the bill was?
Shaft something?
Don't tell them.
Anybody remember?
I don't know what it was.
I heard the Taft something.
That was me.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to be giving answers when they have control.
I don't
5.
Amendment.
Taft Amendment, -5. Giveth and taketh away. Believe it or not, it was the Taft-Hartley Labor Act. And in the Taft-Hartley Labor Act, there was a provision that would give the government, the federal government, the power to seize striking companies and make them work. Congress voted it down. And when Congress voted this down, the court said this is not a case of Congress being silent. They specifically killed this. President is acting without authority, and they struck this down. Youngstown's a big one, so make sure that you got a good grasp on this. I believe you gave me the last correct answer for 2 groups on this one. Go ahead, touch the house, pick me a category.
Okay, be smart about this.
Gotta go fast, gotta go.
Civil rights, 5 points.
Civil rights for 5. I think we have a Pictionary. Who wants to draw?
No, her.
Could you hit the light, Angela?
Okay, well, let's see what it is.
Turn the light switch? Yes, yes, yes. And could you push the up arrow right next to it? I need somebody to come up now.
No, wait, she draws something and then we.
You're gonna be guessing.
Oh, yeah, not me.
You can't say anything, you can't write anything. That's what I need you to draw. 1 minute. Starting on the 3. Go. You know what you're supposed to draw, right?
However, it's white.
Well, that sounded racist.
What happened? It doesn't show the thingy.
Okay,
You're fine. You're fine.
so anybody counts up a bit?
Okay, that's a person.
Oh my God.
That's a woman.
Baby.
A woman. Keep going.
Zoom in on that.
Are we talking about women's rights?
That's what you showed me.
Are we talking
Keep
about
going. 35 seconds. This is from Civil Rights.
women's rights? Is that
I
what
don't
we're
know
about?
Well, what
Did
gave
I
you
miss
that
that
idea?
day or something?
Okay. Keep going. Oh my God.
God.
Oh my God.
What is
25 seconds. Oh God.
Stop. Oh,
Age?
spanking.
like?
No.
What is that?
Is she on a leash?
Is she?
10
Is
seconds.
she on a leash?
It looks like a leash.
A mom and a kid on a leash.
4, 3, 2, 1. I need an answer.
You would know this. Please
that.
know this.
Okay, no answer. First hand I see. I need somebody to explain to me. Yo, well, if you don't know what it is, it's going to be minus.
I'm gonna redraw that.
Oh, okay. The first hand I see, first group I see. I need to know the significance of doll. Doll dealing with civil rights. First hand I see. This was supposed to be doll.
Girl,
Go ahead.
Doll. I don't
Oh
know.
man, it was they were printing out black dolls and white dolls,
Go ahead.
and
And anybody in the group can help him.
They were bringing out girls, well, black girls and white girls, then those put a black doll and the white doll.
What court case was this dealing with?
I don't remember exact court case.
What was that, Chris? Brown versus Board of Education. Yes, it is. You're at -7 now. Okay. What were they doing with this? With these
They
dolls?
tested black girls and white girls to see what kind of doll they would choose, and white girls.
Explain to me how it would work, because they're dealing with desegregation of schools. Anybody?
They brought in black kids and white kids, and they said, "What doll are you?" They would point it out. What doll do you want to be the black kids?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, -4 right now. It was Brown versus Board of Education. They would bring them in and they would ask the white kids, "What doll are you?" And what would the white kids say?
They point to the white.
They point to the white doll, -1. And then when they would ask them, "What doll do you want to be?" What would the white kids say?
They'd say the white.
They'd say the white doll, +2. Then when they brought the black kids in, they said, "What doll are you?" What did they say?
They point to the black.
They pointed to the black doll, 1, 2, 3. And then when they asked them what they wanted to be, what did they point to? They pointed to the white doll, 1, 2, 3. And what did this prove? What was significant about the doll test? This was the first time that the court had done something.
Separate but not equal was not actually. What was it? Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
But they weren't actually equal.
Yeah.
Say again, explain.
People were separated, but they didn't feel equal. They didn't have the same
Racial segregation.
Yeah.
This was dealing with racial segregation, but what was special about the use of these dolls? I'll give you the idea that 1, 2, 3, they're basically saying that these kids were branded, were stamped with a badge of inferiority very early, because if they knew what they were, but they wanted to be something different, separate but equal was not really equal at all. And you guys kind of blurted around that. But what was the other piece about this? This was the first time the court did what? 5, 4, 3. Yeah, all that's true, but that's not what I'm talking about. 2, dealing with the dolls. 1, go ahead.
This was the first time when this case took a psychological test.
Yes, it was the first time they used sociological or psychological evidence. Click it. If you'll turn off the light and lower the arrow, if y'all will pick me the next category. Right now, it's 11 to -3, and the crazy feminists have the lead, though. Go, pick me a category, your group. Gotta go, we gotta go fast.
Judiciary, 2 points.
Judiciary for 2, a big spender. What's the Solicitor General, first hand I see? I think it's you and then it's you, go.
The government's lawyer.
Go ahead, that's true, tell me more.
He is to push the agenda of the president. But
Where?
He argues for the
the
government.
Congress.
-2. Go ahead, Daniel.
The person who speaks for the president in the Supreme Court.
The actual, yes, it is, and now it's -1. You're beginning to make a move here. The Solicitor General is actually the attorney for the government before the Supreme Court, not the Congress. Go ahead, tell me more.
And he is also acts as a 10th judge.
Considered the 10th justice on the Supreme Court, so now you're in the positive.
Okay, and they have he has to. Wait a second. He has to push the president's agenda,
Yeah.
as well as be. He has to. His duty is to push the president's agenda, but as well as to act.
He can't push it too far
Unbiased.
or else they'll ignore him.
Yeah. So.
Or they'll ignore him, 1, 2, that's right. So it's a very, very intensely political position. Anything else you want to tell me? 5, 4, 3. Go ahead, Corazon.
If you don't push enough, the courts could, the president could kick you out for not pushing.
That is actually true. I wasn't necessarily going to give points for that, but I will. Anything else? 3.
And then if you do push the courts too far, they could. No, never mind.
I think that's been said, hasn't it?
Yeah.
-2.
I didn't even finish what I wanted.
Yeah, it had already been said. I'm really grumpy today. Click it if you would, please. An attorney who argues for the government before the Supreme Court, considered the 10th justice on the court because of influence. Touch the house, Angela, if you would. Okay, pick me a category. Actually, you did give me the last correct answer and the last wrong answer. Go ahead, gotta go. Pick one. You're in second place precariously.
Articles for 3.
Articles for 3, another big spender. List all you can. Click it, Angela. Signing statements. You have it first. First hand I see has it next. Presidential signing statements. Presidential signing statements. It's never a good idea to start answering with questions. 5, 4. Presidential signing statements. 3, 2.
Is it the pardon?
-3. Wait, which group is it? It's the weed group. Okay, go ahead. I saw your hand.
It's something that the president says, but it's not actually a law.
It's kind of like, isn't it like the PS at the end of the step, at an end of something?
So the president gets a bill. What does the president do?
He writes, he either approves it or vetoes it, and then at the end of the state, he can write a little statement on like his reason.
So you can veto a bill and have a signing statement.
No, he passes the bill.
That's
but
-3.
No, he passes the bill, but he writes.
That's not what she said. It's on the film. A presidential signing statement. When the president gets a bill, he signs it, and then if the bill infringes on his Article 2 powers, he can at that point issue a signing statement that says, I'm not going to be bound by this part of the bill. First hand I see. What was the significance of George W. in signing statements? What was the significance of George W.? Go ahead.
Didn't he use one for the forgiving of justice and going to war?
No.
Oh, for
yeah.
torture.
For torture, yes it was. 1, 2, 3. He did issue one, but what was the most significant thing about W in those signing statements?
He used it in most of the bills.
There's a better way of saying it than most. 5, 4.
He was the only one to use it more often than other presidents.
Wow, even Fatima's like, -3. What'd you say again? Say it one more time.
He used it more more than other presidents.
Zoom in on Michael right now. What did you say? Because I might actually give you points. Go ahead.
So didn't he use it more than other presidents before? Like he was the only president in history to use it more than any other president before him.
He was actually the president. The only thing was the one that started to get me. He was the president that used it more than all other American presidents combined. Yeah, there's some question about whether or not this is legal. I did. I just gave you points. It's up to 14 now. Any other thoughts on this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Pick me a category. Touch the house, Angela. Go, go, go.
Congress 3 points.
Congress for 3. What one thing must happen for a bill to become a law? First hand I see. Go ahead.